What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday evening. I'm feeling really positive, and I'm going to kick the show off with something super positive. So do make sure you smash a like on the video, do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's jump straight into the show. So guys, we can officially confirm that Andre Onana has signed for Manchester United. Now, I know you're probably sat there saying, well, we knew this was going to happen, but Andre Onana himself has just put out an Instagram post pretty much saying goodbye to the Inter Milan fans, and he goes on to say, now the right circumstances are for me to start a new journey in Manchester. So we can confirm that Onana has just put out an Instagram post saying goodbye to the Inter Milan fans, and he will become a Manchester United player. I know everybody says, well, we already knew this, so why are we talking about it? But it has now been confirmed. He's put out this Instagram post. Really positive. If you're happy about the Onana signing, do let me know in the comment section. I'm absolutely buzzing for Onana, guys. I absolutely love him. I can't wait to see how we're going to play under this new way of football with Onana. But the headline is, guys, Onana has signed for Manchester United. Absolutely incredible signing. I'm over the moon with this one. I could not be happier. Please do let me know in the comment section how you feel about this one. He's just done a really big post. I won't read it all out, but ultimately it's the usual. He's saying how hard it is for him to leave Inter Milan, etc. He fell in love with the San Siro, but he then says, now the circumstances are right for me to start a new journey in Manchester. So he has confirmed the transfer himself. I mean, it was pretty obvious. We've seen pictures of him at the airport today. He has travelled to New York today, guys. There was photos of him at the airport in Manchester on the plane going to the game. So yeah, he will be in the squad for the game against Arsenal, I believe. That's what I was reading. So he's confirmed himself that he signed. I know people say, oh, well, Manchester United haven't posted it yet. Guys, come on. Fabrizio Romano said he's passed his medical. He's done his visa. He's on the plane to America, and he's just posted on his Instagram that he signed for Manchester United. So I think we can all kind of rest assured now. We will get the official from Manchester United probably, I reckon, maybe at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock tonight. We will get the official, pictures of him in the shirt and all the rest of it. But he has just put out this post on Instagram. He's confirmed that he's moved to Manchester United. He literally says, it's now time for me to start a new journey in Manchester. So unless there's some massive spanner in the works and he's just about to sign for Manchester City, then I think we can kind of go on this one. So yeah, I'm really happy about that, guys. This literally came in like a minute ago. So I was just about to go live, literally just about to click the live button, and then I saw this pop up on my phone, and I was like, yes, come on, like, really happy. As I said, we will get the official photos and all of the rest of that stuff in a little bit, but as it stands, Manchester United, Manchester United have signed Onana. Amazing signing. Rate the signing out of 10, guys, in the comment section for me. I don't want to hype it up too much, but I honestly would give it a 10 out of 10. I really would. I think he's an absolute quality signing. Honestly, he's going to completely change the way we play football. I was speaking to a couple of my friends. One of them's an Arsenal fan, one of them's a Liverpool fan, and they were saying, right, two of my friends who support rival teams, they were saying that Onana, for them, is the best signing in the Premier League this season out of any player. That's mad, isn't it? These are two rival fans of mine, and they usually absolutely slag off Manchester United all the time. They say, oh, you're rubbish, blah. Ten Hag should have won the Premier League. They're kind of a bit like rational. They always just slag off United, and they were like, honestly, mate, Onana to Manchester United, like, that's the best signing of the league so far. And I kind of agree. I honestly do think that he is probably going to be the most influential signing of maybe the last 5 to 10 years for us. I honestly think that it's going to change the way we play football completely. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Everyone in the chat seems pretty happy, apart from one person who said 0 out of 10. I assume you're a rival fan. I assume you're one of my friends who was really upset about it. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing, as you can tell, guys. Yeah, do smash a like on the video if you haven't already, guys. It just helps get more people into the chat. So, yeah, and I will read out some of your comments in a little bit. So, yeah, do get your comments in. Do get your live chats in, and I will come back to them in a little bit. So, let's move on to the next story then, guys. We will talk about Onana a little bit later on into the show, and we will do a whole separate video on him once we get the post from the club. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to talk about Onana. I really wasn't, and it literally came out about 10 seconds before. So he says, so this is a direct quote from Onana, guys. He says, it's time for a new story in Manchester. I'm doing it with great enthusiasm, knowing that I will miss you, Inter Milan. So ultimately, that was his final message to the Inter Milan fans. He will become a Manchester United player, and I am absolutely buzzing for it. Anyway, guys, let's move on. We might even do the Onana song slightly later into the video, but for now, let's move on to the next story. So, guys, let's talk about Rasmus Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund. Honestly, this guy, I'm so excited about Rasmus now. I really, really am. At first, I was a little bit unsure. I was a little bit like, oh, he only scored 9 goals. But then when I actually watched some games of him, I did more of a deep dive into him. I actually looked at the stats properly. He's going to be an absolute beast, isn't he? So we've had 2 or 3 bits of news come in about Rasmus Hojlund today, guys. There's a couple of different Italian journalists saying that Manchester United are about to submit a 70 million euros bid for Rasmus Hojlund. And Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed this. He says, I understand Manchester United will send the opening proposal for Rasmus Hojlund very, very soon. There is a bit of a twist in this tale, guys, so do brace yourselves for this one, okay? PSG are also in talks with Atalanta at the moment. This isn't coming from some random source off Twitter. This is coming from Fabrizio himself. He says Manchester United want to avoid any hijacks from Paris Saint-Germain, as PSG are also speaking to the players' camp. So as it stands, guys, as we're speaking right now, Manchester United are about to submit this offer for Rasmus Hojlund, believed to be worth 70 million euros. But PSG are also in the race. Fabrizio Romano has just confirmed this, that PSG are also talking to the players' agents, to the players' camp about a potential move over to Paris. So, I mean, I am a little bit worried now. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Let me know how you feel about this in the comments section. How do you feel about the news that PSG are apparently also talking to Rasmus Hojlund? Are you worried? I mean, for me personally, he's a Manchester United fan, Rasmus Hojlund. I don't see why he'd move to PSG personally. I like, no offense to the French league, but it isn't very good, is it? Come on. He's a Manchester United fan. He wants to come to Manchester United. The only way that we can mess this up, I say mess this up, the only way that this can go wrong is if PSG put in a ridiculous offer, okay? I think 70 million euros is a ridiculous offer, but I've come to terms with it. I am a little bit worried though, because you know what PSG are like. They paid, how much did they pay for Neymar? 200 million pounds? Barcelona inserted a release clause into Neymar's contract that they thought nobody would ever pay. And then PSG come knocking and pay it. Do you know what I mean? So I am a little bit concerned, to be completely honest with you, because PSG have the money to just throw around, don't they? And they don't really think about what they're doing. But at the end of the day, guys, if Manchester United do put in this bid of 70 million euros, I'm very confident we'll get him, because he wants to move to Manchester United. You've got to remember as well, he has the same agent as Ten Hag. He just moved over to this agent as well. All of the signs point to Manchester United. So the only way this can go wrong is if PSG put in a ridiculous bid and Atalanta say, well, either you match their bid or we're going to sell to them. That is a possibility. Somebody's saying that PSG have submitted their first bid. I haven't seen anything about PSG submitting an official bid yet, guys, but somebody in the chat seems to think they have. Fabrizio said that the 2 camps are talking. He says that PSG are speaking to Rasmus Hojlund's camp. I don't think an official bid has gone in from PSG yet, guys. So I think we're all right at this point, but we do have to act quick. We do have to get this bid in, I reckon, in the next 24 to 48 hours. Otherwise, we could be in big trouble. I really, really do believe that, because you know what PSG are like. When PSG come knocking and they put in a big bid, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to win that race. We know that he wants to come to United, guys. We really, really do. But at the end of the day, PSG have got stupid money and spend stupid money. So, yeah, I do. And to be honest with you, 70 million euros is already stupid money, in my opinion. That's 60 million pounds. I'm happy for it. I want it to happen. But anything more than 60 million pounds is an absolute disgrace, to be completely honest with you. It really, really is. Like 60 million, including add-ons, is the very, 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 very top. Wait, it's probably more than the very top, actually, of what I would have thought he's worth. But again, we need to get this player. He is the #1 target for Erik Ten Hag. He's the #1 target for Manchester United. So we've got to go and get it done. We really, really do. So yeah, so the story goes as follows. It says PSG are in direct contact with Rasmus Hojlund's family and agent. Manchester United are about to make their first bid to avoid any hijacks from Paris Saint-Germain. Atalanta wants 70 million euros plus bonuses. Manchester United are believed to be putting in a bid of 70 million euros. So let's just hope that we get this deal over the line. I'll be absolutely devastated if we don't get it. I really, really will. But the story does go on to say, Fabrizio says, Manchester United are the favourites to sign Rasmus Hojlund ahead of PSG currently. So at the moment, guys, we're in pole position. We literally have him there. If we want Rasmus Hojlund, we can get him. It's just whether we put in the bid before PSG do. If they come in with a massive bid, we could be in big trouble. But I'm feeling confident about this one, guys. I don't want to scare you. Obviously, it is a bit frightening, but it is what it is. We've got nearly 300 people watching today, guys. Absolutely incredible. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new here. We're live every single day at 8 a.m. UK time and 6 p.m. UK time. So do get involved in the community. I will read out some of your chats. I will, I try and make it as interactive as possible. Guys, we've got some really funny news, actually. Sorry to go off plan, but there's some breaking news coming out. I mean, I don't know if it's funny, but I found it funny. So Duncan Castles, who writes for he writes for a couple of newspapers in the UK. So this is breaking news. David De Gea has apparently rejected an offer to replace Andre Onana as Inter Milan's goalkeeper. I think that's quite funny. So apparently Inter Milan are trying to get David De Gea as their new goalkeeper. I know this isn't a David De Gea channel, but I just thought that was quite funny. Yeah, anyway, so let me know how you're feeling about the Rasmus Hojlund one, guys. Let me know in the comments section. Are you worried about PSG? Do you think Manchester United will get this deal done? And how do you feel about this 70 million euros that's being floated around? I think that is the absolute max, guys. I really, really do. I mean, 70 million euros, what's that in pounds? Let me just double check. 70 million euros is 60 million pounds. Now, if we can get him for 50 million plus 10 million add-ons, I think that's fine. If it's 60 million pounds up front, I do think that's a bit much. But at the end of the day, guys, what other options do we have at this stage? There's people like Gonzalo Ramos, there's people like Kolo Muani. All of those players are going to cost 60 million, and we've done absolutely no groundwork in those deals. So we've got to get this deal over the line. I think we can blow PSG out of the water. Like, as a player, do you really want to go and play for PSG in the French league? I don't think so. Especially if you're a Manchester United fan, They're both still in the Champions League at the end of the day, guys. That's what you've got to remember. So yeah, I still am confident about this one. As Fabrizio says, Manchester United are the favourites to sign Rasmus Hojlund ahead of PSG. So I think we will get him, but it does kind of scare you a little bit, doesn't it? When you know that there's another big club who are knocking on the door and another big club who spend money stupidly. But yeah, anyway, we'll keep you posted on that one, guys. As soon as we get confirmation on who's won the deal, we will of course let you know. I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, PSG have been linked to Gonzalo Ramos, Kolo Muani. Like, they've been linked to so many people. Like, why can't they not just go and buy one of those people? It's a bit weird, isn't it? It is, but anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on to the next story, guys. Let's talk about Amrabat. Quite a few people in the chat keep asking me, Amrabat, what's going on with Amrabat? So, there's a story coming out from, it's coming out from a journalist in Italy, and they say in the following: the feeling now in Fiorentina's offices is that Manchester United will launch a decisive bid for Amrabat over the weekend. Fiorentina manager Vincenzo Italiano even wants Amrabat to join United by Sunday as he's unfocused. So this story coming out from a journalist in Italy is saying that ultimately Fiorentina are expecting Amrabat to leave now, and they're ultimately just waiting for this bid from Manchester United. And even the manager goes to say that he wants him to go because he's unfocused, He wants to come to Manchester United, guys. Obviously, he was a player under Ten Hag, wasn't he, before in the beginning of his career? So I do think this deal will happen. And then there's another Italian journalist who says Manchester United will look to put in an offer for Amrabat within a few days. This is coming from Gazzetta, which again is another Italian outlet. So it does look like, it does look like we will get Amrabat over the line, guys. It really, really does. So that's one to be positive about. And I do think it means that Fred will probably go. Yeah, I do think Fred will leave the club, and then as soon as Fred leaves, I think Amrabat will come in. If anybody's unaware, he's available for around 25 to 30 million pounds, so he's not a very expensive player. We'll probably get around 15 for Fred, so I think it's a good signing. I really, really do. He's only 26 years of age. He's obviously a full Moroccan international. He was really, really good in the Europa Conference League. I know it's the Europa Conference League, but he looked really, really good in that final against West Ham. And I definitely would bring him in. He's had 49 caps for Morocco. I think he's a quality player, guys. And I would really, really like to see him at Manchester United. So, of course, as always, we will keep you updated with that one as soon as there is more information coming out around Amrabat. Right. So, I mean, why do people put out stories like this? All right. There's literally a story that's just popped up on my page saying Manchester United are expected to announce the signing of Onana imminently. I mean, that is the most obvious story I've ever heard. Onana's just posted on Instagram saying he's going to move to Manchester United, and now you've got journalists saying that they're going to announce imminently that he's joining. I mean, that is just an absolute rubbish, isn't it? Anybody joining late, we have already spoken about Onana, so do kind of rewind back to the beginning of the video, and I will recap everything at the end. So I'm not going to repeat myself, but I will recap for you guys who have joined late at the end. I just want to ask you guys a question that I want you guys to get involved with. I want to ask you guys a question. So far, if we've got Rasmus Hojlund, Amrabat, Onana, and Mason Mount, if we sign those 4 players, how would you rate that out of 10? So say we get Amrabat, Onana, Mason Mount, and who's the other one? Rasmus Hojlund. How would you rate that out of 10? I would probably give that, I reckon that's an 8 out of 10, I reckon, for me. Onana, 10 out of 10. Amrabat, I'd probably say like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Mason Mount, probably 7 or an 8 out of 10. And Hojlund, a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Yeah, so I'm going 8 out of 10. Yeah. The person in the chat asking about the Erik ten Hag book. Well, I read the book and then I thought it would look good on the stream, so I put it behind me. I don't know. Not sure. I can't answer that question, unfortunately. Not really sure what you want me to say, but it's a good book. If anybody is interested in reading it, I would advise on reading it. We've got over 350 people in the chat already, guys. Absolutely incredible. Please make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new here. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free. I'll read out some of your... So in the chat, somebody saying 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I would. I think if we do get those 4 players, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Maybe 7.5 if I'm being critical. Yeah, Amrabat, I'm happy with 7 or an 8. Rasmus Hojlund, 7 or an 8. Mason Mount, 7 or an 8, and then Onana 10. That's my kind of overall ratings of those 4 players. I would have rathered a Harry Kane. I would have rathered a Victor Osimhen. I would have rathered a Frankie de Jong. You know, all of these other players, but that's just me living in dreamland. So yeah, we've got to be realistic at the end of the day. Yeah, but I will read out some of your chats, guys, in the second half of the show. So if you have any questions or anything, do get them in. Just put the letter Q and then your message, and I will read them out when I get a chance. Right, let's move on to the next topic, guys. So we've got a bit of news coming in about Alex Telles. Now, there was loads and loads of noise about Alex Telles, guys. Obviously, we spoke about him last night. Alex Telles looks set to join Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, obviously the club where Cristiano Ronaldo plays for. So there is a bit of an issue over this deal. Now, it's coming out from Fabrizio Romano saying that Al Nassr are still waiting on Alex Telles signing the documents before the transfer officially goes through. The club have asked for more time to get the signing done. So something's going on with this Alex Telles deal, guys. There are a few people reporting that the deal has potentially fallen through, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. So at the moment, guys, Alex Telles is still a Manchester United player. He hasn't left the club yet. Something is going on. We're not entirely sure what it is yet, but there does seem to be some sort of issue with the Alex Telles deal to Al Nassr. So hopefully we can get that resolved. But at the moment, he is still at the club. He has not left. Yeah, he's not left Manchester United. He's still a Manchester United player, which is a bit strange. I don't know. Does he want to stay? Does he not want to move to Saudi Arabia? At the moment, nobody seems to know. But we really, really need to get Alex Telles gone. We do. The fee was meant to be £4 million, which seemed low, but it is what it is. For some reason, it just hasn't happened, though. So we will keep you posted on that one. And as soon as we get the 100% confirmation on what's going on, of course, we will bring it to you. But the latest from Fabrizio was ultimately that something's going on with the contracts and the documents, and the club are asking for more time, etc., etc. Yeah, it's a bit strange, to be completely honest with you, but we will keep you updated on that one. Right, let's talk about the man himself, Mr. Harry Maguire. Now, there's 2 or 3 different stories that have come out about Mr. Maguire today. Some positive, some not so positive. Let's start with the positive, because you know I do positivity on this channel. So this is coming out from it's coming out from a source really close to West Ham, actually, and they say that it appears that David Moyes is seriously looking at the prospect of paying a chunk of the fee West Ham have received from the sale of Declan Rice to bring in Harry Maguire. So West Ham are still interested in Harry Maguire, guys. I know Chelsea were a link with him, but apparently they're not. But unfortunately, it goes on to say, however, Harry Maguire does not want to come to West Ham and is unwilling to take a sizable pay cut. So Harry Maguire is wanted by West Ham, apparently, but he doesn't want to go there. Oh, so frustrating, isn't it? And then there's another story. This is about Erik ten Hag and Harry Maguire. It says, Erik ten Hag has told Harry Maguire he does not want to leave Manchester United, despite stripping him of the captain's armband. So the story coming out today, apparently Erik ten Hag doesn't want Harry Maguire to leave. I mean, to be completely honest with you guys, I think that is complete rubbish. I really, really do. I definitely think that Erik ten Hag wants rid of Harry Maguire. Like, why would he want to keep him as the 5th choice centre-back? So I think that one we can class as just rubbish, to be honest with you. And yeah, it goes on to say that Manchester United are not desperate to sell Harry Maguire, but if a good offer comes in, they will respect his decision. So at the moment, guys, it's a game of cat and mouse. You know, it's who blinks first. Who is going to blink first in this saga of Mr. Harry Maguire? Will it be Harry Maguire? Will it be West Ham? Who will go? You know, it's so unpredictable at this point. We don't know what's going to happen. I do just hope he does leave, because every single day the story changes. One day Chelsea want him, the next day they don't. One day West Ham want him, now they don't. You know, I just simply don't understand how. He thinks he's going to get into the Euro squad if he's just sat on the bench all summer. I really don't get it. Very, very strange. We've got Andrew in the chat who says he's a Bristolian as well. Big ups, Andrew. Hope you're doing well. What was I going to say? Guys, we're 17 subscribers away from 5,400. So let's see if we can hit that by the end of the video. If you are new here, please do subscribe. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free. So get involved. Yeah, so we are expecting the Onana announcement, the official one. Onana's already announced it himself, but apparently they're going to announce it on the Manchester United page soon. So we will obviously bring that to you once that goes live. But let's move on to another story. Let's talk about the takeover really, really quickly, guys. So there is a bit of an update coming out from Ben Jacobs, who I know some of you like and some of you dislike. I personally think he's an okay journalist. He seems to have some quite good information to the club. So he says, he's talking about Qatar, right? So this came out today. He says, the 92 Foundation are now playing the silent game and are still confident that their offer beats Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So the story that's come out today is that Qatar are still confident and they believe that their bid will beat Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And Ben Jacobs goes on to say that Sheikh Jassim's party feel that the only outcome of the takeover is either a full sale to Qatar or a no sale. And you know what, guys? I completely agree with that. I completely do. I think I've said this for the last month. I honestly feel that at this point, there is only two options now. They'll either sell to Qatar or they'll stay at the club. And yeah, Ben Jacobs has just come out with that exact same story, saying that Sheikh Jassim's party have ultimately told him that they feel within their camp that either they'll sell to Qatar or they'll stay at the club, which I do agree with, to be completely honest with you. And the story goes on to say the PR tactics from Sheikh Jassim's side in relation to their bid, the valuation, etc., has frustrated the Glazers and the Rain Group. They're now playing the silent game, but still feel confident that their offer beats Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So apparently the Glazers are upset about how Sheikh Jassim's handled the process. I mean, that's complete rubbish, isn't it? It really, really is. But yeah, that's a tiny little update on the takeover. They are still confident, and I am confident, guys. I really, really am. Yeah, and I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, I do just want to say, a lot of these journalists, they put out these stories and we all get really excited, and then they say at the end of it, oh, but no one really knows. And you're like, well, you just told me that Sheikh Jassim's camp has told you this. And now you're saying, but nobody really knows. So which is it? So we've got to take all these things with a pinch of salt at the end of the day, guys. Like, Ben Jacobs isn't going to get the exclusive scoop on who the next owner of Manchester United is, you know? He might have been told this by a PR company who are loosely related to Sheikh Jassim. So yeah, all of these bits of news that come out around the takeover, we do have to take with a pinch of salt. And I have learned to do that. You know, the amount of times the stock price goes up and we all get excited and then nothing happens, it's like, it is kind of damage limitation a little bit, isn't it? Otherwise you end up just feeling so excited all the time and then you just feel let down, and it's just frustrating. It's not a nice way to be, is it? So anyway, let's move on to something positive. Obviously, we've talked about Rasmus Hojlund. We've talked about Alex Telles. Let's talk about Amad Diallo and Pellistri. So apparently, it's coming in from the Telegraph that Amad Diallo and Pellistri are up for loan this summer. So apparently, Ten Hag wants to loan out these two players. How does everyone feel about that? Let me know in the comment section. Would you loan out Amad and Pellistri, or would you keep them at the club? Me personally, I think that Pellistri should go out on loan, but I would personally keep Amad Diallo this summer. I definitely would like to see some more of Amad. Whereas I think Pellistri definitely needs a loan move. I really, really do. As much as I like Amad, I think he needs to be on the bench for now, and then he can kind of work his way into the team at the end of the day. Anybody talking about Onana in the chat? We have already spoke about Onana, so just kind of go back to the beginning, or I'll recap everything at the very end of the show. And do get your questions in as well, guys. I will start reading out some of your questions in the next kind of 10 minutes or so. And please do smash a like on the video if you can, guys, really, really quickly. Let's see how quickly we can hit our like target for the video. Yeah, but in my opinion, I would keep Amad at the club. I think he'd be a good player to have coming off the bench. And I would I'd let Pellistri go out on loan. I think that's the right decision. He's not going to get any game time this season, is he, at the end of the day? Let Pellistri go out on loan, keep Amad at the club. Integrate him into the squad, give him kind of 20, 30 minutes here and there, see how he works out. If he works out, great. If he doesn't, then maybe, you know, we'll have a think about it. Right. Yeah, so we're all just waiting for this Manchester United to officially put the to officially put up the pictures of Onana. But at the end of the day, guys, as I said, Onana has announced himself that he's moved to Manchester United. So yeah, it's all but been confirmed. I'm just going to read some of your comments now, guys. I haven't really read out any of your comments yet, so I'll jump into some comments really, really quickly. Barman says the Glazers are rubbish, Story is rubbish, and the UK journalists are rubbish as well. Yeah, fair enough. Pathetic. Somebody says Pellistri on loan after the assist that gave Weghorst his only goal at Old Trafford. Sorry, he's a senior squad player for me. I mean, fair enough, guys. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. They really, really are. But the thing is, right, the problem with us at the moment, guys, is we've got so many wingers. So if Pellistri stays, he's a good player. Arguably, he looks better at points than Jadon Sancho. Is he going to play in front of Sancho? Is he going to play in front of Antony, Rashford, Amad, Garnacho? He's not, is he? So, yeah, unless you're letting go of Sancho and another player, then I just don't see how Pellistri is going to get any game time. I really, really don't. But do let me know in the comment section, guys. Would you keep Pellistri or would you loan him out? And let me know why as well. Let me know your reasons, because I am always interested to hear what your kind of reasons are for the different decisions. Somebody says, Amad looks so sharp. I want to see more. Both need to stay at the club. Sancho is not measuring up. And in case of injuries, we have options. Yeah, I do agree with you. I do agree. I don't want to be in the anti-Sancho club, because I do like him as a player. I do think he's going to go on to be someone really, really special. But I'm just not sure whether he's going to be a special player at Manchester United. That's the difficult thing, isn't it? How do Manchester City do so well on transfers? Manchester City have just sold their youth goalkeeper to Burnley for £19 million. And we can't even get 10 million for Dean Henderson. Absolutely mad, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. It really, really is. I don't know how we're so bad at doing transfers, and Manchester City can literally sell like youth players you've never heard of for £20 million. Absolutely mental. It really, really is. Somebody in the chat's talking about Chiesa from Juventus. Yeah, we did speak about him on the show this morning. I don't think we'll go for Chiesa personally. There is a story from Manchester Evening News saying that they were ultimately interested in Chiesa from Juventus, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. It really, really doesn't. Like, why would we go for Chiesa? Why? As I just said, we've got like 8 wingers, and there's only 2 wing positions. Makes no sense, but maybe it will happen. I would probably give it like a 5% chance of happening at this point. Acid Red Devil says, is Harry Kane still a Manchester United target? So apparently, yeah. I don't know what's going on with his move to Bayern. It's gone very, very quiet, hasn't it? Has anybody heard anything about Harry Kane to Bayern Munich? Let me know in the live chat. I know they put in a couple of bids, but nothing really seemed to happen. Yeah, so there is a story about Harry Kane here. Let me bring it up really, really quickly. So this is coming in from a journalist who writes for the Times in England, and he says Harry Kane will not sign a new contract at Tottenham, and he wants to move to Bayern Munich if they can agree a fee. So it doesn't look like Harry Kane will sign a new contract at Tottenham, guys. If anybody missed that last week, apparently Tottenham were willing to double his wage to around 400 grand a week. But yeah, they're not up for it. Tottenham, yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, Bayern Munich have offered 70 million euros for him. I mean, there's no way on earth Daniel Levy's going to sell him for 70 million euros, is it? That's 60 million pounds. Look, just picture this, right? Bayern Munich are trying to buy Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in the world, who will get you 30 goals in the Premier League, for the same price that we're putting in an offer for Rasmus Hojlund. I mean, that is absolutely mental. Like, let me ask you that, actually, guys. If you could pick between Harry Kane for 70 million euros or Rasmus Hojlund for 70 million euros, who would you go for? And you're probably thinking, that's a stupid question, Kieran. Why are you asking that? But Bayern Munich's second bid for Harry Kane was the same price, 70 million euros. Let me know in the comment section, guys. The question is, would you go for Harry Kane for 70 million euros or Rasmus Hojlund for 70 million euros? I mean, do Bayern Munich really think that they're going to sign him for that amount of money? Absolutely mental, honestly, mental. If they get him for 70 million euros, we're going to look like a laughing stock. We will. Like, I want Rasmus Hojlund to do well, but if they get Harry Kane for the same price as what we pay for Rasmus Hojlund, that's a disgrace. For me, it's 100% Kane, without a shadow of a doubt. If you could get Kane for 70 million euros, I would go and do that. I would have done that months ago. But, you know, at the end of the day, guys, Daniel Levy probably won't sell to a Premier League club. Yeah, I don't think he'll sell him for 70 million euros, though. That's stupid. Right, let's read out a few of your chats. Somebody in the chat saying the Glazers will do an interview tomorrow on the sale of Manchester United. I don't think they will, mate. But if you've seen this somewhere, let us know where the source is, and I can have a look and bring it into the show. But as far as I've seen, guys, the Glazers aren't going to do an interview. I don't think the Glazers have ever done an interview, so why would they do one tomorrow? Yeah, I think, as somebody says in the chat, at the end of the day, guys, the problem with Daniel Levy is he doesn't want to strengthen another kind of rival. He doesn't want to strengthen, you know, a British club. So I guess, you know, Harry Kane moving to Bayern Munich doesn't really affect them because Bayern Munich are in the Champions League. Tottenham aren't even in the Europa League, are they? So yeah, I kind of do get it, but it is a little bit confusing at the same time. Yeah, somebody says Kane is a 90 million player at least, 100%. But then we've got other people saying Hojlund over me any day of the week. So yeah, I mean, it's differing opinions, isn't it? But I think where we're at the moment, I think Harry Kane comes in and he genuinely makes us title contenders. I'm not even joking. If he gets 25, 30 goals in the Premier League, like he has done for the last 5 seasons at a really poor Tottenham side, I think he makes us. I think he makes us challengers for the league. I'm not saying we'd win, but I reckon we'd be challenging with City. You know, we wouldn't be 20 points behind at Christmas. But yeah, let me know in the comments section. Yeah, so quite a few people in the chat are thinking that we will sign Harry Kane. I honestly would not be surprised whatsoever. I really, really wouldn't. That's just my opinion. That's just a hunch. I just have a feeling that Manchester United will go for this kind of marquee signing. And at the end of the day, like 70 million euros, 60 million pounds. If they don't put in, if Manchester United don't at least put in a bid for him, that's an absolute disgrace. Like they 100% should put in a bid at least. Even just so they can say, oh, we tried to get him and we couldn't, you know? That's like the very, very bare minimum that that needs to happen. We've got 400 people watching today, guys. Absolutely incredible. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're 11 subscribers away from 5,400. So yeah, please do get involved if you haven't already, guys. And I will read out some of your questions now. So Fred says, do you think Erik ten Hag is aware of the situation with Kane? I mean, yeah, he must be. Like, it's all over the news, you know? The Bayern Munich are putting in these bids. They're meeting Daniel Levy. Everybody in world football knows that Harry Kane is not signing a new contract and that people are coming in for him. So if Manchester United don't at least put in a bid, even if it's like 65 million pounds, you know, they put in a bid slightly higher than what Bayern Munich has. Like, they have to at least try. They really, really do. Otherwise, we look stupid. In my opinion, we will look absolutely stupid. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Some people will say, I don't want Harry Kane, he's too old. I'm not going to lie to you, right? At the beginning of this transfer window, I was a little bit anti-Harry Kane. I thought he's too old. I want Victor Osimhen. I want Gonzalo Ramos. I want Rasmus Hojlund. But the more that the transfer window has gone on, I've actually started to like the idea of Harry Kane because he does guarantee you goals. And he'd work straight away. He'd gel straight into that team. Whereas Rasmus Hojlund could come in and he might take 2 seasons to kind of, you know, to get up to the level we need. But anyway, it is what it is. I would probably say at this point, there's a 10% chance we'll get Harry Kane, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yeah. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we do try and go for it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Glazers announce that they're staying and then they try and buy Harry Kane. Something like that wouldn't surprise me. Something really weird happening. You know, they announce they're staying and then next thing you know, we're trying to buy Harry Kane. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, at this point, it is way more likely Harry Kane will go to Bayern Munich than he will go to Manchester United, which I think is probably going to happen, isn't it? Right, let's move on to the next story, guys, whilst we are... Apparently Moussa Diaby's going to Aston Villa, guys. I know this isn't a Moussa Diaby channel, but we were linked to him. Moussa Diaby from the Bundesliga, really, really good winger. He's just, apparently he's going to sign for Aston Villa. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Aston Villa have had an amazing transfer window. They've got Pau Torres and now Moussa Diaby. They've arguably had a better transfer window than we have. Someone says Kane is tried and tested, Prem quality. Hojlund has potential and justifiable eyes on him, but Kane is guaranteed to get 25 to 30 goals a season. Exactly, 100%. 100%. That's the problem, isn't it? Like, as much as I want Rasmus Hojlund, he might come in and it might take him 2 or 3 seasons to kind of reach the level we're all expecting. Let me ask you this, guys, in the comment section. How many goals are you expecting from Rasmus Hojlund in all competitions, so in the Prem, Champions League combined next season? I'll answer mine really, really quickly. I think he'll get 15 in the... This is what I expect of him. I think 15 in the Prem, maybe 2 in the Champions League, and then maybe like 1 or 2 in the FA Cup and League Cup. Like, I am still expecting relatively big things. He's costing us £60 million, and he's our only striker. But he can't come in and score 5 goals. Like, I'm not trying to put pressure on him, but that just simply isn't enough, is it? He has to hit the ground running. He does. Otherwise, we're screwed, to be completely honest with you. Like, we really struggled for goals last season. So I am a little bit concerned, but I am also positive. You know, it's like a double-edged sword. I'm excited about the transfer, but then at the same time, I'm a little bit like, what does everybody actually expect from him? You know, are people happy with 5 goals? Because I wouldn't be. I would want like 15 goals in the Premier League. I really, really would. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think. So... Amrabat says, Kieran, I told you from the beginning that my gut feeling is saying by the end of the transfer window, we would definitely get Kane. Yeah, as I just said, I think there's like a 10% chance we'll get Harry Kane, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked. I was more shocked about Johnny Evans. Put it this way, guys. I'll be more shocked. I was more shocked than Johnny Evans signing to Manchester United than I would be if Harry Kane signed. Like, yeah. I was honestly so shocked when Johnny Evans got announced. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, as people say in the chat, like, we're Manchester United. We need Kane and Hojlund. One or the other is not enough. We need both guys. We need Kane and Hojlund this summer. That would be incredible. Absolutely incredible. One of them, Rasmus Hojlund on his own, I'm not sure if he's going to cut it. Like, it might take him a couple of years. But I don't know. I don't want to say I'm worried because I am excited about the player and the fact that, like, PSG want him as well now. Like, rival fans, when they're trying to berate you saying you paid £20 million for some guy who only scored 9 goals, you can say, well, PSG wanted him. I think there's a couple of other clubs who are interested in him, you know? So it's not like he's just some random person that nobody wants. There is direct competition for Onana. So, yeah, it does make it a little bit different. I think the only exception here, guys, is if Rashford's going to play as a striker next season, then I think we'll be okay then. But we just don't know what the plan is. We have no idea at this point, you know? It's still kind of too early to predict. But we are, like, what, 3 weeks away from the beginning of the season? So, yeah, we will have to keep an eye on it. For me, I think we do need Harry Kane. I really, really do. But whether that will happen or not, I highly doubt it. But, yeah, obviously, if anything does happen, we will, of course, bring that to you. So someone says, for me, Victor Osimhen, Kudos, Mohamed... Kudos, Lautaro Martinez, Ramos. Yeah, I mean, all of those players are great, but I don't think we'll get any of them, unfortunately. I would have loved to have Victor Osimhen at Manchester United. I really, really would. But I would not be surprised at all if either Chelsea or PSG get Victor Osimhen, I think. Yeah, but I would have absolutely loved to have him at Manchester United, guys. I really, really would. He's an absolutely quality player. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Someone says, can we get Kane and Hojlund under financial fair play if we don't sell any players? It all depends, doesn't it, really? If we don't sell any players, then probably not, no. But, I mean, if the new owners came in and they cleared the debt, then, yeah, probably we could. I think at this point, the key thing at the moment, guys, is getting people out of the club. It's clearing the wage bill. It's... Yeah, it's clearing the wage bill, and it's clearing the debt, but obviously the Glazers aren't going to do that. So when people say financial fair play, we're only in this situation because of the Glazers ultimately giving out stupid contracts and ultimately putting the club in debt. Like, we should be able to spend 200, 300 million this summer easily. And we have the capabilities to do that. But because our wage bill is so high, because we're in so much debt, it means that we can't do it. Somebody's saying that Buffon is about to retire from football. Crazy. But somebody in the chat saying Kane is past his best. Erik ten Hag is building for the future. Yeah, I do agree with you, but the thing is, guys, right? I'm not like this. I'm not one of those rational fans who after one game I'll be shouting, get him out of my club. If Erik ten Hag loses 3 or 4 matches next season, right? There will be certain people in the fan base who are like, oh, I'm not sure if he's the right manager, blah, blah, blah. Like, football is a results business, especially when you're the manager of Manchester United. If you lose a couple of games, if you have a couple of shaky matches, fans turn on you. And imagine Rasmus Hojlund comes in, right, and he doesn't score for his first 5 goals. People are going to be like, why the hell did Erik ten Hag buy this? Absolutely terrible, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just think with Harry Kane, like, you're guaranteed goals. You really, really are. And I think it would be very, very unlikely to go wrong. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Somebody says, if we had the money, Osimhen would have been the perfect investment. Yeah, I would have loved to have Victor Osimhen at the club, guys. I absolutely love Osimhen. He's a quality player, but unfortunately, we are not in the budget for a player of that cost. As much as I would like it, but it is what it is, isn't it, guys? We can only work within our kind of budget restraints at this moment in time. Do get your questions in, guys. We've got about 10 minutes left of the show, so get your questions in, and I will read out some as the show goes on. So Liam says, do you think we'd hate the Glazers as much if Woodward wasn't running the club for as long as he did? That's a great question, guys. Let me ask that back to you. So Liam has asked, if Ed Woodward hadn't run the club for all of those years and run it so badly, do you think we wouldn't have hated the Glazers so much? My opinion, I think yes. I think Ed Woodward was a massive part of why the Glazers and why the club is in such a bad way. He was the one who brought in Harry Maguire. He was the one who brought in Ollie and kept him for 2 or 3 years. He handed out the ridiculous contracts, you know. But it all does stem back from the top. The Glazers were the ones who kept Ed Woodward in charge. You know, they rewarded him. You know that Ed Woodward's got shares in the club as well. I think he owns like 0.05% of Manchester United. So yeah, he in the eyes of the Glazers, right? Ed Woodward did an incredible job because every year they kept making more money, and that's all the Glazers care about. So Ed Woodward is actually a success. Not for us as fans, but in the eyes of the Glazers, he is a success, okay? But I do agree with you. Like, I do agree that if Ed Woodward hadn't been here, then maybe... If we'd have brought in a proper director of football and done all of these things right years ago, then the Glazers might have been okay, you know? But the thing is, they take money out of the club. No other club does that. They take dividends. All of the things they do, like, are not very savoury to me, to be completely honest with you. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to say on that one. It's such a hypothetical one that I don't really know how to answer it, you know? Somebody's asking about Alex Ferguson. I'm not going to slag off Alex Ferguson. He's the greatest manager of all time. So just a bit of breaking news coming in the last couple of minutes. Again, it's not the most glamorous news, but Charlie Savage has officially left Manchester United. He has gone to... Charlie Savage is joining Reading on loan, guys. Yeah, let me know how you think about that one. I actually quite like Charlie Savage whenever I've seen him play. Obviously, he's not good enough to play for Manchester United first team yet, but he has moved to Reading on loan. So obviously, wish him all the best. I hope he has a good time there, and I hope he comes back a stronger player because, you know, he's obviously Robbie Savage's son. He's you know. You always hope that these types of people do make it into the actual first team, but the likelihood is he probably won't. You know, I'm not trying to be harsh, but he probably won't. So yeah, Charlie Savage has left the club on loan to Reading. Right, let's read out a few of your chats. Someone says Ed Woodward was great for sponsorship deals and incompetent with transfer deals. Yeah, 100%, guys. As I said, Ed Woodward did an amazing job on the commercial side of the business. He did an absolutely incredible job. Hats off to him for that. But on the actual football side of it, he was an absolute disgrace. There is no doubt about it. So, yeah, I do agree if maybe there was a different person running the club for all of those years, we might be in a different position to where we are now. But it is what it is. You can't go back on the past, can you, guys? You cannot change things. Mount says, when are we selling more players? That's the great question, isn't it? That's the $1 million question. I mean, as it stands, guys, Alex Telles has moved to Al Nassr. Looks like it's going to fall through. Eric Bailly, I have no idea what's going on with him. Dean Henderson's in America. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Harry Maguire doesn't want to leave, and apparently Erik ten Hag doesn't mind keeping him. I mean, it's not looking particularly good, is it, on the outgoings? The only one is potentially Fred. Now, some people are saying that he didn't go on the tour because of personal reasons, but then others are saying that ultimately he's going to leave the club. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, the issue here is, guys, the number one club linked to Fred is Fulham, okay? And I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but in the last hour or so, a club in Saudi Arabia are trying to get the manager from Fulham, Marco Silva. They're willing to pay him £40 million a year, a Saudi Arabian club, to bring Marco Silva to the Saudi League. Absolutely mental. So I don't know what this will mean for the Fred transfer. Does this mean that Fred won't move to... so I don't know how to pronounce the name. Ali have offered Fulham coach $40 million a year to become the new manager. So Marco Silva looks like he's going to leave Fulham. What does that mean for Fred? I mean, it's a real mess, isn't it? But yeah, I honestly don't know. I really don't know what's going to go on with these outgoings. It's very, very frustrating, but we will keep you updated. Right, we've got over 400 people watching today, guys. That's really, really good. Like, usually the evening shows are a little bit less people. I'm not sure why. I guess it's because there's loads of other people doing stuff at the same time. But yeah, please do smash a like and subscribe if you're new, guys. It doesn't cost any money. We're 4 subscribers away from 5,400. So please do subscribe. Let's see if we can hit that by the end of this video. We've got a couple more stories to get through, and then I will read out a couple more of your questions as well. Somebody's asking about Harry Kane. We've already spoke about Harry Kane. Somebody's saying we'll sell Fred for 5 million euros. Yeah, probably. I mean, if Fred goes for 5 million euros, that's an absolute disgrace. That is a disgrace. Like, Galatasaray want Fred and they want to pay 5 million euros. That is a disgrace. I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but it really, really is. People asking about a bid for Hojlund. If anybody's asking, wants to know about Hojlund, just rewind the show to the beginning, or I will recap everything at the end of the show. Yeah, just conscious about repeating myself. Right, I'll read out a few of your questions really, really quickly then. Quite a few people a bit unsure about Harry Kane. Yeah, I mean, Liam raises a really good point. He says, imagine if the Saudis keep going like this for a few more years. Yeah, I honestly think that the Saudi league has already taken over, like, the American league. You know, I honestly think within a few years, as soon as they get a TV deal and all the rest of it, like, I'll ask you this, guys, actually. This is a good question. Say each Saudi team, starting 11, has 5 or 6 players in the starting 11 that you know. So say one team has Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry, Kante, etc., etc. Would you start watching the Saudi league? Yeah, let me know in the comments section. Like, is anybody in the chat tempted to start watching the Saudi league this season, or are you not quite at that point yet? I'm not at the point yet, but I think if it carries on the way it is, I genuinely would be interested. Like, I'm not going to watch it every game, but I might watch a couple of games just to kind of see how it was. Like, I watched the Australia Ireland Women's International World Cup earlier on, which was quite good. So yeah, I do like to watch lots of different football. I think it was the opening match of the World Cup, Australia versus Republic of Ireland. It was 1-0 to Australia in the Women's World Cup. Yeah, somebody saying it will take over Serie A. Joshua says, Kieran, my cat is home and safe now. Well, I'm so glad to hear that, mate. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're, I hope the cat, well, you said the cat's all right, so that's really, really positive. Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Right, guys, I think this is a good point to wrap up the video. We will, of course, be back live at 8 a.m. UK time tomorrow. If anything breaks between then and now, of course, we will go live for you guys. So do make sure you smash a like on the video, and please do subscribe as well. Yeah, it's been a really good show this evening. I'll do a really quick roundup for anybody who joined late. So the stories that we've spoke about on the show this evening is Rasmus Hojlund. Manchester United are set to put in a bid of around 70 million euros, including add-ons, for Rasmus Hojlund. But PSG are also in talks with Rasmus Hojlund's camp. This is coming out from Fabrizio Romano. So it is a race against time. Manchester United are believed to be the favourites, but PSG are also in the race. So there is a bit of an issue there, but I think we can get him. Anyway, next story. Onana has all but confirmed he's signed for Manchester United. He's done a post on his Instagram saying that he's joining Manchester United and saying goodbye to the Inter Milan fans. And we can confirm that he has flown to New York to join the rest of the club for the pre-season matches. So we should see Onana on Saturday, guys. And we will be doing a watch-along for that game as well. Saturday, I think it's 10 p.m. UK time, so do get involved in that. Other news, Amrabat, it looks like we're going to be submitting a bid over the weekend. That's coming out from sources in Italy. Ahmad and Palestri look like they'll be going out on loan. Alex Telles has moved to Al Nassr. Looks like it might be breaking down, but hopefully it doesn't. Harry Maguire, West Ham reportedly want him, but Harry Maguire doesn't want to move to West Ham. Typical. And that's kind of everything we've discussed, guys. It's been a really, really good stream, so thank you so much for joining us. We will, of course, be back at 8 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning. Please do smash a like on the video on your way out. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. We've gone through all of the topics of the show, so I don't really want to stay live and just kind of ramble on. I'd rather, keep it concise, keep it informative. And yeah, we'll speak again tomorrow, guys, at 8 a.m. UK time. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely evening wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Peace out.